Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the end of July of 2022, and as we get closer to Star Wars Andor, the marketing is ramping up for that show, as well as a lot of new details about the Bad Batch Season 2, as well as Tales of the Jedi. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the Disney Star Wars universe is that after Andor, they are taking a very small break from live-action TV shows before they roll out a whole bunch. And we've talked about this for the very longest time, that 2023 and so on is going to be the longest series of consistent live-action Star Wars TV shows. 2022 was a bit of a mishap because they originally wanted Mando 3 out this year. They also wanted to have Bad Batch Season 2 in the spring. That got delayed until September. And of course, Tales of the Jedi was also shoehorned into 2022 to kind of make up for the absence of Mando 3, which by the way is now coming out in February of next year. So, on top of this, we already have Favreau, Filoni, and Lucas working all together as this trio, as this team, if you will, to really bring Star Wars back in action, to really bring it back to the roots of George Lucas's vision. And that's what's great about them, is that is why The Mandalorian, I believe, works so very well, is because it is so in touch with George Lucas's vision of Star Wars and exactly what it all really stands for. The way that it's shot, the way that it's paced, just the way that it's handled in general. It just works. So that's what we will be getting in Mando 3 in February. Now, with that being said, however, what's really intriguing has a lot to do with Kathleen Kennedy and what she recently did to a Star Wars TV show. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now completely focused on Star Wars Andor and its marketing, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are getting ready to begin work on Mando 4 and other Star Wars shows that will be announced at Star Wars D23 and of course Disney Plus Day. Now, however, it's described that some time ago, very recently, Kathleen Kennedy actually had a third Star Wars TV show that was going to be in her complete creative power that she recently finalized the cancellation for. Essentially, originally, Kathleen Kennedy had Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, and this project that were going to be all under her control and set to release in 23 and 24. This series was going to be considered a spin-off show of the Acolyte that was going to focus on a Jedi god named Maeve, and exactly how she was created before the High Republic era of the franchise. Now, the show was going to be about the new Chosen One, if you will, that was going to replace the prophecy of Anakin Skywalker, and would focus on this character instead. The main reason why Kathleen Kennedy recently closed the books on this show had a lot to do with the fact that no directors and/or writers wanted to be a part of this project after they read her outline of the show and what she actually had planned. Even Leslie Headland didn't want to write the series, given that she, however, was busy and working on another project. Now, Kennedy found it very difficult to find any director or writer that had any faith in this project. There was, however, one director that actually held an interest in becoming a part of the show in the beginning, but eventually left after Kathleen Kennedy discussed her plans to shift away from George Lucas's vision and to abandon all of his ideas. Now, this is something that all the creators did not want to be a part of, since they knew that something was all up to this project and that all the creators did not want to be a part of it. Now, they knew that Kathleen Kennedy was aiming for something like that. Disney executives also got involved in the process of the show and decided to lower the budget of the series, as Kathleen Kennedy actually had a demanding procedure of making it more of a higher budget, and of course for this project specifically. Now, let me just stop right here for a second. Now, that was the main reason. The main reason why this got canned and why it really went into the trash had a lot to do with the fact that Kathleen Kennedy was not getting the budget that she wanted by Disney executives. She was demanding a higher budget for the show. They weren't giving it to her. And another thing that really played a big factor was the fact that no directors and/or writers wanted to be a part of this series, and that says a lot. That really says a lot for Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars, because it just goes to show you that a lot of directors and writers are getting smart now when becoming a part of Lucasfilm. I think that they're very well aware that this is a company that's had a lot of mishaps with projects, and it's almost as if, like, Lucasfilm has been red flagged for a lot of directors and writers in Hollywood out there, where if they are given an opportunity, they're going to really, really take the time carefully to think about what they're doing. So that's why Chapek is on a mission to letting Favreau and Filoni just do whatever they want to do their thing, and create a consistent flow of successful Star Wars TV shows. This way it's going to attract creators that are very experienced who have an interest in coming on board. And that's exactly what they want to do. So, with that being said, this show in particular, alright, it sounds like it was going to be a disaster. It was going to focus on a Jedi god, in a sense. And before we move on to the next thing, I just want to point this out here, that this is going to be a character still in the Acolyte series. It's just that this show in particular was going to be a dedicated show on this character. Kind of like, think how the Book of Boba Fett worked. You know, Boba Fett was just a cameo in Mando, and then he got his own show. It was going to be something like that, except in Kathleen Kennedy form. Moving on. So on top of that, alright, when she was forced to actually work with a low budget, this is when Kathleen was essentially forced to shut down the project herself and cancel it altogether. There are zero plans for this to ever return, and it was going to involve the Wills, who are godlike creatures, and how they created a Jedi god that was going to be the strongest Jedi in existence. Now, the description of this Jedi was a 20-something-year-old looking woman with blonde hair with black streaks that wore some kind of High Republic Jedi armor that was going to fight against a new villain in the series. Actress Brie Larson was slated to play the main role in this show, and is still set to play a pretty big role in the Acolyte series still to this day, as a big surprise appearance, after her scenes were drastically cut down. The series that Kathleen Kennedy canceled, however, was also going to showcase retcons against the lore about the cosmic force that Lucas also created that executives know would have been very much a nightmare. Now, the thing about this also that's very important that fans need to really know is that John Williams was completely rejected from all of Kathleen Kennedy's projects. And of course, I know he's getting up there in age, I understand that, he's in his 80s, and she didn't want him involved, period, though. She just said, no John Williams for these projects, no, I don't want him in Acolyte, I don't want him in Skeleton Crew, I don't want him in this either. And it just seems like that it kind of matches with what happened with Kenobi. Sure, you got some John Williams themes in there. I mean, he made a new Kenobi theme and all, which was really good, by the way, but they actually had him create a Duel of the Fates revision and a Battle of the Heroes revision that never made it to the final cut of the Kenobi TV series. I mean, I just don't know why she thinks like that, and why she thinks it's okay to do something like that, because those are two major themes in the Star Wars franchise that so many fans have so many memories with. Why would you have John do a revision of those show, or of those songs, I should say, for that show, and just completely dislodge them, and just delete them out of the actual final cut? But anyways, guys, you know, I think it's a really big mess right now, what's been going on with Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, she's still having production issues with The Acolyte, and Skeleton Crew is moving along, but I don't think that's going to be all that great, to be honest. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.